Hūd. Meaning, shayb is white hair that you can see. That's shayb. So something that turns your hair white. Usually that's what? They said, by the way, Rasulullah ﷺ, when he died, he had like 6 white hairs. Okay? So that's a significant event that he says that Hūd, and by the way, other surahs, it says Hūd wa akhawat, like other surahs related to it, gave me white hairs. To say this is how powerful, how strong this is. If you follow through with the verses that we'll look at, you'll see that the tone in this surah, subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking in more forceful terms. And this is one of these indications, wallahu alam. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Nūḥ, alayhi salam, he says what? We have sent Nūḥ to his people. What did he say? He said, I am for you a great warner. He did not say, usually, the prophets talk about what? Bashir wa Nadhir. I'm here to give you glad tidings, and I'm here to warn you. Usually. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala focuses on what here? I'm here for you as a great warner. There's no indication yet of what? Of the glad tidings. Because that's the tone of the surah. The surah is here to give this strong message. The next verse says what? What is the warning? Or what is this? So a warning is this is the message that he sent with. So he, alayhi salam, gives the essence of the message. The essence of the message is what? أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Worship no one else but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the essence of the message. And I always say, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, our deen is simple. You can explain it in 2 minutes, 1 minute. You worship Allah one and alone, and that's it, and you follow the Prophet. That's it, done. It's simple, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So Nūḥ alayhi salam gives them this. It says, أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Worship no one, nothing at all, except Allah. Why? It says, إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ عَذَابَ يَوْمٍ أَلِيمٍ. And that's the first lesson we learn here as well. It says, I fear for you the torment of a painful day. The first thing he said, now this is a warning. He's telling them that there's something is going to happen. There's a day that is going to come that is going to be a painful day. He didn't even say it's going to be a painful punishment. He says that the day, because of how strong the punishment is, the day itself, the time of it, it's painful. Let me give you an example. Sometimes, inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. But if you have any incident in your life where it was a bad day for you, something happened, and it might have been past, like a long time ago, but you've been through a bad experience, maybe that is physically or emotionally or spiritually was tolling on you. When you just remember the day that happened a while ago, it pains you. So he's telling them that the pain was so much on that day that the day itself is a painful day. That's a strong warning. The second thing you learn from this verse is what? The prophets, alayhim salam, even though there is a very painful message, a strong message of punishment, the prophets were not sent to make people kind of lose faith and hope in Allah and His mercy. So even with this painful, strong message, there is hope and mercy built in it. Why? He says what? He says, I'm not doing that just to get, I always say that. I'm not here to say, check box mentality. You heard me say that before. Meaning what? The prophets as an S, like all the prophets, their job is not just to deliver a message and we don't care what's going to happen. The prophets used to feel for their people. It bothers them. So he's telling them, I fear for you. إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ. I fear for you a torment of a day that is so painful. But he's telling them, I'm coming from a place of love. I'm coming from a place of care, that I fear for you. It's not just, here's the message, I don't care what you guys do, you can go to hell. No. It says, I fear for you. I'm telling you this message. I am warning you because I am fearful for you. I care for you. So that's the second lesson we learn from this verse. Now, this is the response of his people. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us the response comes from the chiefs amongst them. فَقَالَ الْمَلَأُ. Those who disbelieve, the mala, the chiefs that disbelieve, they are responding to Nuh alayhi salam with what they think are good enough reasons, sometimes I call them excuses, for not to believe. What did they look at? And this is something also, that's another lesson for you. What do people look at or for when you have a message of guidance? Allah is telling us this is not just the regular folks, that's even the chiefs amongst them. We're supposed to be leaders. So what did they say? The chiefs amongst them who disbelieved, they respond, and he said, from his people, min qawmihi, says, we don't see you except as a human being. So that's the first point that they're trying to kind of raise as a reason not to believe in him. Said, you're just a human being like us. They used to look at others. They want to see, and in other verses we see even the kuffar of Mecca, they said, we want a malak, we want an angel. Or they used to look for power or something beyond human beings, meaning like jinn, for instance. They want to see, you're just a human. So in their mind, because you're just like us, that does not give you any advantage over us, therefore we're not going to believe in you. So the first thing they look at what? Physically, what they are. And as a matter of fact, the opposite is true. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, and if it was a malak, if it was an angel or something else, people would have had another excuse. They say, oh, it's an angel. Not like us, we cannot just follow the same thing. But it was someone that just like you, telling you to do something exactly that they will themselves do it, it's easier to follow. But they said, this is the first response, says, you are just a human being like us. That's one. Two, and we don't see that those who have followed you, except that they are aradhiluna. They are the ones that we look down upon. They are not the chiefs amongst us. They're looking at just the regular folks. That's what they say. It's the weak, it's the poor, it's the regular people. We don't see the chiefs following you. So that's the second thing that they're looking at, and that's what people perceive. And again, that's a big lesson for us. What constitutes leadership from a guidance perspective? People sometimes look for what? We still, even till the day, someone that are powerful. Even physically, or with like a lot of clout already. So he says someone who is already powerful, so this is the person that we should, someone that is rich, or has a lot of money, they know something about something, maybe again I should follow them. That's what people are looking for. Dunya-related, life-related aspects that gives people an advantage. Either physically, like socially, economically, and that's what exactly the chiefs looked for. And Allah is telling us in this lesson, said that's not how these things work. You need to look at, is this person internally zaka'un nafsi, meaning, are they themselves guided? Are they themselves from inside pure, a pure heart? And look at the message itself. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was what? Because again, you keep this in context. Allah is giving an example of another prophet. For not this, he's not talking about the people of the Prophet. He's talking to Quraysh and the people of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and us afterwards. Say, look at the essence of your Prophet. He was known before that to be what? The trustworthy. The one that his people, again, used to look at this, the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even pre-Risala. Okay, this is a person of zaka'un nafs. Internally they are clean, they are guided. And now look at the content of the message. And that's what constitutes leadership in that case. But they didn't look at any of this. They looked at physical traits, economical traits, things that are happening in this world. So he said, you're a human being. Those who followed you are not those who are, these are actually, as a matter of fact, the regular folks. They are weak or they are poor or whatever it is. And they added to them, it says, بَادِيَ الرَّأْيِ أَرَاذِلُنَا بَادِيَ الرَّأْيِ. So they are the weak and the poor and the regular folks amongst us. And even we don't trust their mental abilities. They don't trust their judgment. Meaning what? Badi al-ra'i. This word badi means they take things on their face value. That's the closest English translation. They're not thinking deeply about what you're saying. They're just taking on face value. Ma bada, ma zahara. Things that are just obvious. Right? So they are just not even giving you, those who followed you, they did not follow. That's what they're saying. They did not follow because they had in-depth knowledge or understanding of what you're saying, but rather they're just following on face value. وَمَا نَرَاكَ اتَّبَعَكَ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ هُمْ أَرَاذِلُنَا بَادِيَ الرَّأْيِ وَمَا نَرَى لَكُمْ عَلَيْنَا مِنْ فَضْلٍ بَلْ نَظُنُّكُمْ كَاذِبِينَ. And therefore, based on all of this, we see that you have no power or no benefit or no rank up over us. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. You're just like us, you're regular, and as a matter of fact, those who are following you are weaker. then we actually truly believe that you're just liars. You're just saying that this is coming from God, but there's no other sign in their mind that this is something that is of truth, but rather it is something of falsehood and you're lying. And I said these are the lessons that we learn from there. In 1 minute, and I still have a couple, but 1 minute. One, we said that the prophets come right with this bishara and nadara. They're coming to warn people about the outcome of the hereafter, but they have it with a sign of like a message of love or care. Two, people, how they look at these things, sometimes they look at it actually on the outside. They look for signs that might be related to this dunya, whereas we should be looking at signs that are related to the hereafter, but even signs of things that are related to the matter. Meaning, if I am trying to take a leadership position, right, as someone who is going to lead operations somewhere, I need to have a leadership experience in operations. I can run a place. I can be a manager somewhere, right? But if I'm just looking at this person, mashallah, this person is very sincere, they come and pray in the masjid. That's amazing. Alhamdulillah. They come and pray in the masjid every 5 days. That's amazing. Can they lead? That's two separate things. So don't look at things on face value. Look at the essence of things that are related to the message or the leadership position that you're taking. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us what we need to look at. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq of understanding and implementing things that are of this guidance in our lives. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive all our sins. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst those who are benefiting from the true message of Islam. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the highest level of Jannah. Jazakum al-khair wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.